The Toronto stock market is up more than 100 points in early trading. To start off a week that will include the latest interest rate announcement from the Bank of Canada. Economists expect the central bank is going to raise its key interest rate by half a percentage point to 1.5%. Global stocks and U.S. futures are higher as well after Wall Street rebounded from a 7-week string of declines. And China eased antivirus curbs on businesses in Shanghai and Beijing. Wall Street's benchmark S&P 500 index finished Friday up 6.6% for its biggest weekly gain in 18 months. Well, with all the ups and downs in the markets, knowing how to successfully invest can be difficult. One person who has navigated the financial industry for over 55 years now is Mr. Thomas Caldwell, chair of Caldwell Securities Limited. He joins us now to unpack his approach to Bay Street. Sir, welcome back to Forum Daily.
Thank you, Nima.
Now, as we've mentioned, you've been on Bay Street in the financial industry for over 55 years now. How do you motivate yourself on a daily basis?
Well, probably the same way I did when I first came into the business. I saw it as an ongoing puzzle. Everything in the world that's going on connects eventually with markets. So it's a continuing mental challenge that keeps you alert, keeps your brain working. So I generally like what I do, and I generally like the people I do it with, and I appreciate my clients. So it's always something to do. And I do not believe in retiring. So I plan to do this as long as I possibly can.
And I also heard something really interesting recently, that you have marble statues of bears throughout your office. Now, considering that everyone wants a bull market, why do you surround yourself with bears?
Well, I don't surround, every office we have, it's usually an Eskimo carving of a bear. And I do it to remind a couple of things. Obviously, people prefer bull markets because we're all smart when the market's going up. But I want to remind people of risk. And very often in a euphoric positive market, you can forget what risk is about. Now, people learned this in the last little while. So it's to remind people of risk. The bear is always out there, and you just have to keep in mind. So all decisions come down to risk and reward, except for, of course, affairs of the heart, which is not rational. But typically, investment decisions or others are risk and reward. And the other thing about bear markets is I generally trade large cap companies. The only way I can create value or above market performance is to buy things when nobody wants them. So I kind of like bear markets as presenting bargains to me. And my job is to see, is this problem fatal? Is it going to go away? How quickly, etc. So it's to remind people of risk, but also to remind people of opportunities. And so it's sort of a reverse metaphor, if you will.
And we also know that you're very passionate about speaking to the next generation of investors. So what do you tell them to excite them about the future?
Well, I think part of, young people, when you have children, you realize after 16, nobody listens to you, but they do watch you. And I think our younger people, we have interns in the summer, and they're all great young people. And again, a lot of them have come off this very difficult COVID period in schools. So my job is to try to wean them off the computer, reintroduce them to personal contact. And it's really satisfying, particularly when you get older. I want to be an encourager for anybody, but certainly young people. And so part of my witness to them is the mere fact I'm here in my late 70s and I'm still going to work every day, still chuckling and laughing a fair amount, having fun at what I do. And I always keep saying, do what makes you come alive. If you like what you're doing, it's not work. I mean, what would I retire to do? Feed pigeons? I mean, I love this. I love doing what I'm doing. So that's an example to these young people. Find something you love doing. If you want to retire at 55 years of age, you're in the wrong job. So
do what makes you feel alive. I love that, sir. Now, after 55 long years in the business, do you have any regrets that you've experienced throughout your career?
Well, you don't get to my age without having lots of regrets. From a business point of view, listen, I don't mind. I've made mistakes, and I always keep saying there's nothing wrong with being wrong. There is with staying wrong. You make a mistake, clean it up, drive on, learn from it, and keep on moving. I guess if I had business regrets, it's where I've trusted people, put faith in people, and they've really let me down, if not become even treacherous to some degree. And I just have to remember that everybody's flawed. Everybody makes mistakes and have no real expectations. But there are a few cases of of fellows that I've done business with who turned out to be quite treacherous and very costly to me, both personally and from a financial point of view. But you know what? I can't hang on to that stuff. You got to let it go. I think Nelson Mandela once said, resentments are like drinking poison and hoping the other person dies. You got to get rid of it and keep on moving. Because, and at any rate, in the final analysis, it's far better to be the victim in those matters as opposed to the perpetrator. Because I can still have a sense of self-esteem when I look at myself in the mirror. Maybe they don't. Some people are sociopathic. That's just the way life is. But I can't hang on to that stuff. But then I got lots of resentments. I think the regrets. Often what I do regret is where I might have hurt people inadvertently because I tend to be quite quick to react. And I don't mean to do that. And when I catch myself, I try to apologize, clean it up as quickly as you can, say, I'm sorry I was off base there. But that gets rid of the regrets.
Always an interesting and informative conversation, sir. Thank you again for joining us today on Forum Daily.
Thanks, Nima. You have a good afternoon.